All right, everybody, welcome to today's personal development lesson. I am your host, as always, Joel Dunn. Today, we are going to be going over an amazing mindset one. Today, we are going to be talking about the things that you need to do to be the person that your dream requires. Because let's face it, your dream isn't waiting on a plan. It's waiting on a person. And that person is me. That person is you. So the last time we talked about ambition and urgency. So we need to do the wanting it all and wanting it now. But today I want to ask even harder question. Not what do you want, but who do you need to become in order to get it? See, here's the truth. The thing that people need to really look at and understand, because it took me a while to figure this one out. I've heard it, and you've probably heard it a lot too. Your dream doesn't have a plan problem, it has a person problem. So you already know what you want. Hopefully, you've written it down, you've put it in a place where you see it so it reminds you constantly. You probably already know most of what you need to do. So why isn't any of it happening? And mainly it's because dream you're chasing requires a version of you that doesn't fully exist yet. The dream is the size of who you're becoming, not who you've been or who you currently are. You can't get to or have a level 10 dream and be a level 4 person or a level 4 leader. The dream isn't too big. You just haven't grown into it yet. That is why I'm so proud of you for coming on every week, developing and becoming the best you so that you can grow into all of the things that you want. So today we're going to stop asking, how do I get it? And start asking, who do I need to become to be ready for it? And here's the thing I've said all the time, the wanting to have $1 million, to be a millionaire, that is great. The money is one thing. But who you have to become in order to get that is what is actually the most valuable. Because when everything else goes away, you still have that best version of you, that great version of you, that level 10 dream version of you that you're looking for. So the dream is never the problem. The gap is. And here's the thing, the gap is always between the dream that you have and the person that you are right now. And closing that gap is literally the whole leadership assignment. So here's what most people get wrong. They think that they sit there and they dream about it long enough. And if they do enough dream boards, if they put enough things on there and they dream it badly enough, it'll come. But wanting it isn't the issue. The gap is the issue. You have to overcome the gap. There's a difference and a distance between who you are today and who your dream, who that goal requires you to be. What you currently do and what your dream and your success and your goal actually demand. So, how you currently think may not be what your dream needs. See, you may be where you are because at the highest level of your current thinking. How you need to think to hold on to that dream, to gather that dream, that is where you need to get to. That gap, that's not bad news. That's the assignment. Again, the dream that you wrote down is basically a description of your future, the future you want to have. It's telling you, here's who you'll need to become. So if your dream is bigger income, become someone who manages money, leads people, and solve bigger problems. If your dream is a stronger family, become someone more present, more patient, be more intentional. If your dream is greater and bigger impact, become someone worth following. See, the dream is a mirror pointed at your future self. And the only way to reach it is to close this gap between who you are and who it requires and who you need to become. Because you don't rise to the level of your dreams, you fall to the levels of who you are and who you've become. So today, write your biggest dream at the top of your page. Below it, write the person who lives this dream is someone who, and then fill in the blank. That is your target. Next, stop trying to get it. Stop striving for it. Start trying to become worthy of it. Ultimately, because you are. See, chasing the results keeps you stuck, but becoming a person that attracts it, that is what you want to do. Most people spend all their energy on chasing the outcome. They're chasing money, they're chasing titles, they're chasing the recognition. Ultimately, everyone is trying and chasing the result, and they wonder why it keeps slipping away. Here's the shift that changes everything. When I stopped chasing the dream and started becoming the person who naturally attracts it, that is when things started falling in line for me. So think about it. If someone handed you your full dream tomorrow, the income, the team, the platform, all of the responsibility that comes with it, could you actually hold it? Would you be able to hold on to it? Think about it. When people win the lottery, what they blow through it quickly and end up worse than they were before. Why? Because they weren't the person that could actually hold it. Could you lead the team of your dreams right now? Could you manage the money that this dream produces for you? Could you handle the pressure of the dream that you're carrying? Could you steward the influence that this dream that you have brings for you? Now, for most people, the honest answer is no. And I can tell you right now, from where we are right now to where we want to be, I have to be a whole other person as well. And that's the thing, is it's exactly why I don't have the things that I want yet. I'm not where I want to be yet. Because life doesn't give you what you want. Life gives you what you are actually able to carry and hold on to. You may have it for a short moment, but then it's fleeting and it's gone. The dream isn't withholding from you, it's waiting on you. It's waiting for you to become someone big enough to hold on to it without dropping it. So stop asking, how do I get it? And start asking, who do I need to become so that I don't lose it when I get it? So don't chase the dream, guys. Become the person that the dream can't ignore. It will come to you. So ask yourself honestly, if my dream showed up tomorrow, what part of me isn't ready to hold it? And start building on that part so that you can carry it. Next thing is your habits are voting for a person every day. See, you are becoming someone right now. The only question is whether it's a person that your dream requires or someone going in the opposite direction. And here's something nobody can escape. You're always becoming someone. Have you ever heard the Indian story about the two wolves? Inside of you, there are two wolves, a good wolf and a bad wolf. And the question is which one will win out? Which one will take over? And it becomes the one that you feed the most. So every single day, your habits are casting a vote for who you are turning into. What you do in the morning is a vote. What you feed your mind is a vote. How you treat people is a vote. What you do when you're tired is a vote. The things that you tolerate in yourself, that one's huge, is a vote. And after enough votes, your identity becomes elected. And here's the hard question. Is the person your current habits building, is that the person that you want in charge of your identity? Because you can't have the habits of someone going nowhere and expect to arrive somewhere great. You can't build a championship dream on an average person practice. The gap between where you are and where you want to be, it's bridged by your daily habit. Not your big moment, not your motivation, not your inspiration, your quiet, repeatable, everyday habits. See, if I asked you to show me your routines, I'd be able to tell you whether or not you're going to be able to hit your goal. That's why KPIs, your key performance indicators, that's why those things are so important, because if you track those, if you're doing them, you can take that and look at your future and see what your outcome will eventually be. Because who you are every day is who you become forever. And the good news is you get to change your vote starting today. You can be intentional about how you're voting. Every habit is a vote for the person you're becoming. So start voting intentionally, start voting wisely. You need to identify one daily habit that's voting for the wrong person and replace it this week with one that is the person and the identity that your dream requires. We talk about influence all the time, and here's the thing: grow bigger than your problem. Don't ask for God to give you less problems. Ask for Him to make you stronger. You don't shrink your problem. You outgrow them and become a bigger person. And here's the truth that'll free you. Your problems only feel big because you haven't grown big enough yet. See, the problems that used to overwhelm me, it is one that once I outgrew it, I look back and I laugh and I was like, that really wasn't that big. But at the moment, it seemed like a mountain. And that's the thing. The problems that overwhelm you at, let's say, a level 4 leadership is just a random Tuesday for somebody that's at a level 8 leadership. The obstacle stopping you today won't even register once you've outgrown it. See, the things keeping you up at night today will one day feel so small. The challenges that feel like mountains and they're impossible now will kind of end up feeling like your routine later. Not because the problem got smaller, but because you got better, you got bigger. And most people spend their full lives trying to shrink the problems, trying to make life easier. And here's a pro tip, guys: life will never get easier. So trying to remove the obstacle doesn't work. It'll stay the exact same size no matter what. So leaders do the opposite. You will do the opposite starting today. You're going to stop trying to make the mountain smaller and start becoming a bigger climber. Because here's what's true: you will always have problems the size of the person you are. And sometimes God gives you problems that are bigger than the person you are. So grow the person. He's trying to grow you. And that same problem that used to stop you becomes the problem you solve before lunchtime. It becomes the problem that you start helping others solve. So don't pray for an easier dream. Again, pray for big, hairy, audacious goals so that you can become a stronger person. Because you don't need smaller problems. God designed you and has called you to be the bigger person. And He's giving you those things, those obstacles, so that you can grow and become more. So think of a problem that feels bigger or a mountain that you're looking at right now. Ask yourself, what would the future version of me, the one who lives my dream, do about this? Then do that. This is a great exercise. Anytime you're going through something, ask yourself, what would the best version of yourself do in this situation? Because you already have that inside of you. But sometimes you have to trick yourself into thinking that it's something different by saying the best version of you, the future version of you, the multi-million-dollar version of you, the free version of you. What would that person do? You know, when somebody said fake it till you make it, or copy the right cat, but you don't want to copy people and you don't want to fake it. Well, here's the thing. Your psychology in making those things a statement, using I am statements that are contradictory to who you actually are, that's not lying. That's programming. And you need to program yourself to go through and to see that you are bigger than the problems that you have. Because it's one of those things where you have to become it before you see it. The whole part about faith. You have to become the person before the proof shows up. That's the price of admission. I talked about it earlier last week when I said, confidence is something that you have to pay for. It's a deposit. It's not something that you can withdraw until you do something. So here's the part that most people can't handle. They become a person before they get any evidence that it's working. And that's hard for us to think about because you have to show up like a leader before anybody ever calls you one. You have to carry yourself like it's already happening before it does. You have to do the work of the future you before future rewards come. Believe it in the mirror before you see it or others see it in your life. And that's the hard part because there's seasons, sometimes long ones, where you're becoming the person, but the results haven't changed and they haven't caught up to you yet. But you're putting in the work of a champion and still getting the paycheck of a rookie. And here's the thing. This is where most people start feeling the imposter syndrome. And that's where most people quit right there. They say, I'm doing all of this and nothing is changing. And then they go back to who they were. But here's the thing. The ones who make it, they become it before they see it. They keep being the person the dream requires, even when the dream is still invisible. Because here's the truth. The person always comes first, and the results follow. Never the other way around. And if it does, it's not lasting. Because you don't get the result and then become the person. You become the person, and then the results have somewhere to land. So if it happens in reverse, it has nowhere to land and it falls apart. So become it now, before the proof, before the applause, before anyone else believes it or you. They're going to think that you're crazy because they don't see the work that you're putting in. So be the person your dream requires today. Let your life catch up to who you've already become and to who you're becoming. So become that person first because the proof comes second. Now here's the thing, ask yourself, how would the person who already lives my dream show up in the morning, show up in the afternoon, show up in this situation, and then show up like that before you even have a reason to do it? Here's the thing, guys. Your dream is not waiting on a better economy. It's not waiting on the right connection. It's not waiting on more time or a perfect plan. Your dream is waiting on a person. My dream is waiting for me to become a better version of Joel. We've probably gone through this conversation quite a few times. I think I'm on Joel 10.0 now, maybe 11.0. There's as many Joels as there are iPhones now. So like 19, 18. And the person that you need to become is the version that is going to handle all of the things that you desire. Because the gap between where you are and where you want isn't a distance you have to travel. It's a person you're becoming. So stop chasing, start becoming. Stop trying to get it, start growing to be worthy of it. Stop praying for smaller problems and become the bigger person. Because the day you become the person your dream requires, you stop chasing the dream and something starts following you because you're finally ready to receive it. So this week, stop asking, how do I get my dream? And start asking, who do I need to become? Then pick one habit, one standard, one way of showing up, and start being that person today, being the proof before the applause. Just become it. Because your dream isn't waiting on the plan. It's waiting on you to become that person. Guys, take this, go out, have an incredible week, share this with somebody on your team to help lift them up so that they can be the person, the leader that they need to be to go out and change lives. Guys, go out, make it an amazing day, and hope your week is as awesome as you are.